Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted. I'm back for real now, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching my videos. This is kind of noisy, but yeah, thank you to everyone who's been watching my videos. I have over 150 subscribers, and I really couldn't do it without you guys. Today we're going to be talking about a popular topic, the pros and cons of dreadlocks. And of course there's a lot of stuff to say, and some of you know the very obvious cons, but I'm still going to break it down for you what I think are some pros and what I think are some cons based on what I've experienced so far. So yeah, let me just get right into it. So the first pro I would say is just how really cool the hairstyle is, like having dreadlocks and just watching your hair grow from being like a huge afro or having really long hair to going into like these long ropes. It's like a really interesting journey to watch, and at the beginning you wouldn't really expect it to end up that way, but it eventually does. So yeah, another pro I'd say would just be how easy they are to maintain. Well, I'm kind of like semi-freeform, so I don't have so much maintenance done on my hair as most people do. But personally, I wash mine once a week, and I moisturize it and oil it like every 2 days. So it's not really a huge time commitment for me. Well, it just depends on what kind of dreadlocks you have, what kind of environment you're in, and what you're willing to, how much time you're willing to sacrifice, basically. So some people twist their hair every 3 weeks and do all this fancy stuff to it, but I've found, at least with my hair, just taking care of it with the oil and the moisturizer has gone a really long way. Well, one other pro that I've seen is every day is a good hair day. Well, once your dreadlocks are like mature, that is. When you're seeing like the ugly phase, so like the first 3-4 months where your hair just looks like crazy. I mean, you guys have seen my dreadlock journey. Like the first part, my hair just looked bad every single day, and I didn't have one of these bonnets on ever, so it was even worse. My hair was dry, it was nasty, it was oily, I didn't wash it a lot, you know. So I feel like I've learned my lesson over time, and which is why I made this channel, so you guys don't have to go through the same mistakes that I did. But yeah, every day is a good hair day, and everything just looks good, always look good. Yeah. Boy, if you don't get... Yeah, one last pro that I have, well, that I'm gonna say is that people are definitely not afraid to come meet me. Like, I've met so many new people simply from the fact that I have dreadlocks, and you know, people are just more open to you just because you look interesting, which can be good or bad, or good and bad. But for me, it's been mostly good, you know, meeting new people and people coming up to me asking me questions, stuff like that. Personally, I like meeting new people, so it's not a problem for me. But if you don't like meeting new people, it might be a problem, because a lot of the time people tend to walk up to you and just like ask you questions. So now I'm gonna highlight some of the cons, and this is obviously the less pretty part of the vlog. Well, not really a vlog, it's kind of like just today's episode. Yeah, it's the less pretty part of today's episode. My first con would definitely be at airports, because every time I pass through the security machines, they always pat down my hair, and that gets annoying because most of the time I don't like people touching my hair, simply because most people's hands are dirty and I don't want my hair getting dirty. But yeah, that's really annoying. People patting down your hair when you go through airports. It's not like I travel that often, but every time I do, it happens. Another huge con, and one that I've definitely struggled with, would be the drying time. It takes so long for the hair to dry, and most of the time in the morning I wet my hair, and it's actually really bad, because after I wet it and I towel dry it to some extent, I just put it back in a ponytail. And this is bad because when the moisture, when your dreadlocks have moisture and they're all together, mold starts to build. And if you get mold in your dreadlocks, there's really no easy way to fix it apart from cutting it. So you really have to be careful about keeping, like, having wet dreadlocks. You have to make sure you dry your hair, or just don't wet it sometimes if you think you're not going to have enough time to dry it. So yeah, drying time is definitely one of the huge cons, and it makes things much difficult, including like swimming and stuff. You can't just go swim and then come back and, you know, have a quick shower and leave. You have to take some time to dry your hair. So it requires a lot of planning in advance, especially on weekdays. I have to plan in advance for when I'm going to wash my hair. One other con I experienced like early on in my dreadlock journey, when my hair was still probably from like the whole first year, was going to the gym was really difficult because I couldn't like tie my hair back or any of those things. So if you're like running on the treadmill or something, your hair just keeps like flapping in your face. So it was probably around here, so I couldn't really tie it back or anything. So it was a really tricky situation, and I just had to deal with it for the whole time. Now my hair is about here or so tying it up is easy and all that. I'm gonna do like a length check sometime soon. The thing about going to the gym, and this applies to all lengths of dreadlocks, is it makes it difficult for your hair to lock because there's a lot of oil and buildup that gets onto your scalp, right? And this makes like the knots at the bottom of your hair like form slower, because normally the hair locks, if it's dry, is able to lock around each other. But if your hair is like oily, or if your hair is oily, it makes the hair slippery and it's not able to knot as easy. So, you know, it's just one of the things you have to deal with, and your hair will lock eventually. It just takes longer time, and you just have to wash your hair more frequently if you're gymming. And of course, the last and most important con when considering if you want dreadlocks or not would be the job market. Jobs, people judge you based on your appearance, and of course this isn't right, but you know, most things aren't right. So yeah, it's definitely you know, a very sensitive spot, and you have to know what you're up against. It depends on where you want to work though. Some companies are very open. For instance, where I'm working, they're very open to diversity within the company. So it's not about what you're looking like, but rather what you're contributing to the company's growth and success. So for companies like that, obviously it's really good, but there's other companies that would not allow you to have that kind of hair. So it just depends on where you want to work. And I know commonly tech companies also, it's fine if you're doing like coding or whatever. Like no one cares what someone who's writing code does, as long as you produce good code. So it's all, you know, it just depends on what job sector you want to go to. And of course, people outside the work would always judge you based on the kind of hair you have. So it's up to you, honestly, to prove them wrong and show them that, hey, yeah, I might have dreadlocks, but that doesn't mean I have no future ambitions, which is obviously mostly the notion most of the time. Especially where I come from, it's like if you have dreadlocks, you're either crazy or you're like you've lost your path or lost your way or something like that. So yeah, it just depends on you having to show people that you mean business. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. There's going to be content hopefully coming like every 2 or 3 days. I'm starting to sort out like where I'm working and generally like settling into where I am, so I'm able to make videos like more often now. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends, tell everyone about it, and I'm going to start a question of the day segment, and you're going to see a question down in the description, so watch out for that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.